Welcome back to King FX Trading Mastery. If this is your first time you'll be watching any of our videos, make sure you click the subscribe button below and don't forget to activate the bell icon so that you can be notified whenever we upload any new content. Right, so let's get down with this week analysis. But for those of you who are watching this analysis for the first time, this strategy we are about to analyze is called the King strategy, and this strategy is based on uh, indicators, moving averages, and stochastic and RSI. So if you really want to learn more about this strategy, make sure you watch this video to the end. So there is a link at the end of this session that you can click to watch to learn more about this strategy and how to set up the parameters and the trading conditions. This strategy so far gives us 70 to 75% win rate if you trade it accordingly. All right, so let's get on with this week analysis. Last week analysis, according to our record, about 65% of the analysis played out as expected, and a lot of them were invalidated, which means all the trade entry were invalidated and we didn't take some of the entries since the entries were invalidated. So let's get down with this week analysis. This week analysis is between Monday, June 28th to Friday, July 2nd, Monday, June 20th to Friday, June 2nd, 2021. All right. So the first pair I'm going to be looking at is AUD Swiss franc. AUD Swiss franc is currently buy bias according to this strategy is currently buy bias. So coming to the weekly time frame, we have seen a perfect bullish uh, engulfing candle. So on weekly, though, this is a clear indication that this pair is most likely going to push up during this coming week. All right, so with that in mind, if that should happen, we expect this to pull up to where we have the red resistance, the red line at 0.7092. All right, so coming to daily, we see some rejection on this. So with this, we may have some pullback a little bit, then a push up right after that. So with that in mind, based on the weekly and the daily, we expect this pair to pull up to the green resistance on the daily at 0.7018. So coming to our entry time frame, which is hourly, so we want to expect some pullback right on this pair to pull back a little bit more. Then on its way up, we catch the entry once the cross between the moving average happens. So our first take profit is going to be towards the green resistance at 0.7018. So AUD Swiss franc, look for a buy. AUD Swiss franc, look for a buy. AUD NZD is the next pair I'm going to talk about. AUD NZD is currently sell biased according to this strategy. So the weekly we see close with the weekly candle closed with red candle. So we can see we have some momentum to the downside on the weekly. So if this is going to continue this way, we expect it to drop down to where we have the red support at 1.0605. All right, during this coming week, if the momentum will continue that way. So coming to daily, we can see an indecision candle right here. All right, an indecision candle right here. So which means price may go either way on the daily, but with this, we expect this to come down to 1.0711, all right, because this closed in red. So we expect it to drop down to the green support if ever the push up is going to keep happening. So with that in mind, we are still currently sell buyers. So we want to wait for this pair to cross down. The cross is about to happen, so we want to wait for the cross. Once the cross happens, we take our sell entry and exit the trade before 1.0711, which is at this green support. And if this green support get broken, our next target is going to be the red support. All right. So AUDNZD, look for a sell. AUDNZD, look for a sell. CAD Swiss franc is currently buy bias right now, but this pair we want to be careful. So according to the weekly candle, we see this close in green, okay, with some momentum to the upside. So we may expect this to actually push up during this coming week, either to this green resistance or get it broken. So we want to wait and see what is going to happen, but we expect this to keep pushing up. All right. So if this green resistance get broken, we expect it to push up to the red resistance. So the daily candle, the daily candle, we see this close in green. So with this in mind, we expect this to also push up some more, but according to the pattern that is forming right now, we may expect this pair to push down a little bit more. All right. So we want to see this push down a little bit more towards the red moving average. Then on its way up, we catch the buy entry. All right. We catch the buy entry. We catch the buy entry and exit before the green resistance. But I think there is still another entry that we can, another resistance that we can take some of the profit before the daily resistance. So we can take some of the profit right at this top before it get broken. All right, before we take it at 0.7526. So CAD Swiss franc is a good one to look for a buy. All right, it's a good one to look for a buy. So once this get broken, the red moving average get broken to the downside, you want to wait until both black and blue moving average crosses back to the upside before you want to start looking for a trade. So be careful with that pair. CAD Swiss franc is still good for a buy. CAD JPY. CAD JPY is currently buy bias according to this strategy. So coming to the weekly candle, we see a strong bullish momentum candle right now. So we can expect this to keep pushing up during this coming week. During this coming week, we will expect it to keep pushing up. So we expect it to push up to the red resistance at 93.06 during this coming week. But before that, we can see we have the daily resistance right here. So the daily candle closed in green, but we can see there are some kind of gap in between these candles. So price may want to fill the gap as the candle is not wet formed right now between the red and green, as you can see. So we expect this gap to get cover up. So with that in mind, we expect this to push up a little bit more during this coming week. All right. So CAD JPY, we want to look out for a buy. So wait for this little pullback and catch your entry to the upside. So catch your buy entry to the upside, then take your profit along the way and take your profit before the green resistance. And if that level get broken, our next target is going to be the red resistance. So CAD JPY, look for a buy. CAD JPY, look for a buy. The next one we'll talk about is Euro AUD. Euro AUD is currently sell biased. So the weekly candle, we see an inside bar candle. This may cause this to keep pushing up or drop down depending on what market is going to present to us. But we can see this is coming from a supply zone. So this candlestick pattern is most likely going to push this pair down during this coming week. So if the push down should happen, we expect this pair to push down to 1.5419, which is at this red support. So this coming week we expect Euro AUD to drop down to this red support. So coming to the daily time frame, we see the momentum is to the downside. So we expect this pair to at least come to the green support at 1.5662, all right, during this coming week. So this may happen within 1 or 2 days. So with that in mind, Euro AUD is a good one to look for a sell, but we definitely want to wait for the pullback to the moving average, to the red moving average. Then we take our sell entry, then take your profit before the green support at 1.5662. So Euro AUD is a good one to wait for. Look for a sell. Euro AUD, look for a sell. EURAUD is also to the downside. So the weekly candle, we see these are a perfect bearish engulfing candlestick. So we have 80% assurance that this is most likely going to pull down to the red support at 1.4583 during this coming week. All right. So coming to the daily candle, we see the previous day candle shows a bullish engulfing. So this one may likely going to be a retest for this, okay, which may cause this to pull up a little bit more before the drop is going to happen. But based on the weekly candlestick that form, we expect this to actually drop some more. So with this in mind, we want to see this pull back a little bit more according to what the daily time frame is telling us. All right, we want to see this to pull back a little bit more, then take our sell trade to the downside. Okay, take our sell trade, then exit, take your part of your profit before the green support at 1.4664, and if that level get broken, we are heading to the red support, which is our weekly target. So EURAUD, look for a sell. EURAUD, look for a sell. Euro NZD, we are currently sell bias on Euro NZD according to this strategy. So the weekly candle, we see a red candle. This is a strong momentum candle to the downside. So this may give us some kind of assurance that this coming week we may also expect this pair to pull down some more during this coming week. So if that should happen, we expect it to pull down to the red support at 1.6610, all right, during this coming week. So the daily candle, we see close in red, but we have some rejection to the upside from the daily candle. So with this, once market opens, we may want to see this pull up a little bit more, then before the drop is going to happen towards the green support. So coming to our entry time frame, which is H1. So we want to see the pullback based on what the daily time frame is telling us. We want to see the pullback, then take our sell entry, and take some of the profit before the green support at 1.6810. And if that level get broken, we are heading to the red support. So Euro NZD is a good one to look for a sell. Euro NZD is a good one to look for a sell. The next pair I want to talk about is GBPJPY. GBPJPY is also to the downside. It's also to the downside. The weekly candle we see this close in green, but we have some rejection before the candle close. We have some rejection from the upside to the downside. So with that rejection, we may see price to push down during this coming week, but we want to wait and see what other time frame is going to present to us. So if the push down is going to happen during this coming week, we expect it to push down to the red support at 1.4896 during this coming week. Okay, but the daily time frame, we can see this close in red with some momentum, showing some momentum to the downside. So during this coming week, our first target is going to be towards the green support at 151.91. all right, we actually don't expect this pair to pull down to this red support due to the formation with the candlestick we are having on the weekly candle, but we're going to wait and see what is going to happen. So coming to our entry time frame, we want to wait for this pullback. Okay, the pullback has already happened, and the continuation has already happened through the stochastic. So wait for the pullback, no matter what, wait for the pullback and catch your sell entry to the downside, catch your sell entry, and your target is going to be towards 151.991. So that's going to be our next target. So GBPJPY, it's a good one to look for a sell. GJ, look for a sell. GBPUSD is also to the downside. So the weekly time frame, say almost the same formation we have on GJ is what we are having on GU. Okay, so with this close, this is an inside bar candlestick pattern on weekly. So we may see this going to pull down some more during this coming, but this is currently sitting at a demand zone. All right, so with this, we may see this price push this pair pull up some more during this coming, because it is currently sitting at a demand zone. All right, so we may see this pull up, and if that should happen, we will wait and see to see what this is going to present to us. But our next target for this coming week, according to this rejection, is going to be 1.3654. all right, for price to drop down to 1.3654. So for the daily, we see we have some momentum to the downside, showing a sign of strength to the downside on the daily candle. So with this in mind, we want to expect this price, this pair rather, to pull down to 1.3787. okay, to see if that level is going to get broken. And once that level get broken, then our next target is going to be towards the red support. So coming to our entry time frame, which is H1, let's wait for the pullback to happen. You can see stochastic is very well oversold, so we wait for the pullback to happen, then take our sell entry to the downside. We take our sell entry, and our target is going to be towards 1.3787. then we take part of the profit before price get to this level. All right, so GBPUSD, look for a sell. 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 GBPNZD is currently to the downside as well. So this, we have a perfect bearish engulfing candlestick pattern. We can see this is coming from a supply zone. So a clear confirmation to us that this pair is most likely going to drop this coming week. So we expect this pair, GBPNZD, to drop down to the red support at 1.9327 during this coming week. So The daily candle also closed with some strong momentum candle, we can see. So with this in mind, we want to expect this pair on the daily to drop down to this support on the daily, to touch the moving average, to touch the 120 moving average on the daily, so which is going to be at 1.9477. all right, we can see that this is currently sitting at a supply zone on the daily, so we may want to expect this to pull up a little bit more before the drop. So we want to expect the push up to happen on H1. We want to expect the push up to happen on H1 before you can start looking for a sell. So look for a sell on GBPNZD and take your first profit before this level at 1.9595. And if that level get broken, we are heading down to the next green support at 1.9475. But have it in mind that our weekly target is going to be towards the red support. Okay, so we have two targets right there before we get to the red, to the weekly support, which is the red support. So GBPNZD is going to be a good trade to look out for, guys. So but you definitely want to wait for the pullback before you look for the sell entry. GBPNZD, look for a sell. GBPAUD is also sell bias. We also have the same formation we have on GBPNZD. The same formation is what we are having on GA, because because NZD and AUD, they move alike as they are found in the same region. All right, so GA, we want to look for a sell. This is also coming from a supply zone, so we want to expect this to pull down to this red support at 1.7816 during this coming week. That is what we are expecting this pair to do. So coming to the daily, we can see the same formation that we have on GN is what we're having on GA. So this closed in red. So a strong momentum candle to this downside. So we want to expect this pair on the daily to at least touch 1.8192. If ever this pair is going to change direction, we expect it to at least come to this green support. So with that in mind, we want to wait for this pullback also. All right, wait for this pullback also, then take your sell entry to the downside. Take your sell entry. GA, look for a sell. All right, GA, look for a sell and take your profit before the green support at 1.8192. And if that level get broken, we are heading down to the red support. All right, so GA, look for a sell. GA, look for a sell. So GA is also going to be a good trade to look out for. The next one we'll talk about is GCHF. GBP Swiss franc is currently moving to the downside. So right now on H4, which is our confirmation time frame, so we want to wait for this to drop some more before we start looking out for a trade. All right, so coming to daily, we can see some rejection. Okay, a shooting star, some rejection right there from the upside to the downside. This tells us that during this coming week we may see this pair pull down some. All right, so we want to see this pull down to this thing. We want to see it pull down to this red support during this coming week, but this is going to be a long journey. As you can see, it may not happen in 1 week. Okay, so it took 2 weeks before this get to this support. So coming to the daily, we see this, we expect this to come to at least come to this support at 1.2613 during this coming week. So with that in mind, we see this pull up a little bit more, but be mindful, you don't want this to pull above the red moving average on H4. So we want to see little pullback, then on its way down we catch the sell entry to the downside. So GBPJPY is going to be a good one to sell, but we want to be careful with that as well. So the next pair I want to talk about is GCAD. GBP card is has strong momentum to the downside, so it's currently pulling down. So with that in mind, coming to the weekly time frame, we see a perfect bearish engulfing candlestick pattern. So this tells us that we have higher possibility to see this pair pull down to this red support at 1.6854 during this coming week before we can see the pull up again. So the daily candlestick also closed in red, okay, a strong momentum candlestick with flat bottom, as you can see. So during this coming week, we expect this pair to actually pull down towards the red support, all right, but the daily support is found at 1.7017. That is where the daily support is found. So that's going to be our first target. So on this, our daily support is going to be our first target. So GCAD, wait for the pullback to happen towards the 120 moving average, which is the red moving average. Then on its way down, catch your sell entry and take your profit before 1.7017, which is the green support. And if that level get broken, we are heading down to the red support. All right, so GCAD, look for a sell. GCAD, look for a sell. The last pair I'm going to talk about right now is USDJPY. USDJPY is currently to the upside, okay. So coming to the weekly time frame, we see this closed in green, okay. The weekly candle closed in green. So this tells us that we may likely going to see this pair to keep pushing up to the red resistance as 112.30, okay. But we want to be mindful that this is currently sitting at a resistance. All right, so with that in mind, we want to wait and see what price is going to do at this resistance before we take a critical decision. But according to this, we can see this is sitting at the resistance right now. So if the cross should happen, wait for the pullback, little pullback. Then if the cross should happen, you can take your buy entry, but make sure you take part of your profit before 111.02. all right. And if this level get broken, then we wait for another pullback. Before we start taking another trade because this is currently sitting at a strong daily resistance. All right, so guys, you want to be careful with this pair also. So USDJPY is also good to look for a buy. All right, so that's all I have for you guys today. So quick recap: AUD Swiss franc, look for a buy. AUD NZD, look for a sell. CAD Swiss franc, look for a buy. CAD JPY, buy. Euro AUD, sell. Euro CAD, sell. Euro NZD, sell. GBPJPY, sell. GBPUSD, sell. GBPNZD, sell. GBPAUD, sell. GBP Swiss franc sell, G card sell, USDJPY buy. All right. So the weak pair I have for you guys is GBP is weak. All right. That is the weak pair I have for you, and the strong pair I have for you are not so clear. So we want to utilize the weak pair, which is GBP. All right. So that's all I have for you guys. For those of you who are watching this for the first time, and if you have not subscribed, make sure you click that subscribe button down below and ensure you activate the bell icon. There are also several videos for you guys to watch and learn. If you're a new beginner and you want to learn anything about Forex or about online trading, feel free to explore our channel, and make sure you drop your comments and click that thumbs up button and share this video with your loved ones. So guys, I'm going to see you guys during the midweek analysis, because we don't have much pair right now, so we expect much more of the pairs to set up during this coming week. So we are definitely going to be here with the midweek analysis for you guys to explore. All right, so thank you so much for having me today. I'm going to see you guys on the next one. So happy trading and peace out, guys.